giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live, presented by Specs Wine, Spirits, and Finer Foods. I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele. Boom! I'm sitting here. I'm trying to find the audio, Cowboys Nation. Trust me, I'm trying to find the audio, but give me a second. We will get to the bottom of Jerry Jones. Coming up today, the Cowboys got mangled, mauled, destroyed by the Detroit Lions. Unfortunately for a lot of you guys, you want to put it behind you, but it's a bye week. This one is going to sit on us for a long, long time. And usually, when things are sitting on your mind and you need to get them off, you go to therapy. Today is not a Tape Tuesday. Nah. It's a Therapy Tuesday, Cowboys Nation. And in therapy, there are questions. They ask questions. You have to peel back layers and get to the bottom of things. I got some questions. I got a few questions we'll ask, about 4 of them. A couple pertaining to Sunday, a couple pertaining to beyond Sunday that we will talk about. And obviously, we'll do it with you guys. You can call in 351-999-3787 is the call-in line. In the Roundup, we got a quick injury update on pertaining to one of the Cowboys that we thought were going to play, did not play. And so we'll talk about that in the Roundup. And coming out of that, we'll get into these questions. But before I do that, Professor O hit me up and said, "Hey, did you hear what Jerry Jones said?" Man, you guys don't know this, but before I come on the show, I'm actually putting together the final pieces. My problem is I'm always trying to add extra stuff. So I kind of added something extra today, hence why it took me till 9 o'clock to come on. And I don't really listen to the radio all the time. Sometimes I'll plug in. Boy, did I miss one today. So before we get into my part of the show, I want to just read off what happened. Let me set this thing up. If you did not see or hear what happened this morning with Jerry Jones, it was very similar and akin to this.
I don't have the patience to jack with you today.
So Jerry goes on his Tuesday morning show with 105 Through the Fan. I think it's RJ and Sean, or Shane and Sean, or whatever the hell. Sean and RJ. Check. Am I still on? 105 Through the Fan. And those guys apparently didn't hold back. I haven't listened to it yet. I'm just going to read what Jerry Jones said here. It says, quote, "This is not your job. Your job isn't to let me go over all the reasons that I did something, and I'm sorry that I did it." I'm sorry. That reminds me of how Jeff says it. I'm sorry, and I is, and I ain't. Quote, "That's not your job. I'll get somebody else to ask these questions." I'm not kidding. You're not going to figure it out what the team is doing right or wrong if you are, or any 5 or 10 like you. So he ain't just threatened his job. He threatened that 5 or 10 other people. You need to come to this NFL meeting I'm going to today with 32 teams here. You geniuses. You really think you're going to sit here with the microphone and tell me all the things that I've done wrong without going over the rights? Listen, we both know we're talking to a lot of great fans, a lot of great listeners, and I'm very sorry for what happened out there Sunday. I'm sick about what happened Sunday. And he goes on to kind of talk about his Jerry, a bunch of more Jerry things. The facts are, when you make a decision, you don't really know if it's going to pan out or not. You want some conversation this morning, you're getting it.
I don't have the patience to jack with you today.
What do the kids say? What do the kids say when things like that happen? He crashing out. Is that what they saying? Yeah. Yo, this is not your job. He said, I'll get somebody to ask these questions. I'm not kidding. I wasn't going to start the show off like this, but literally as I'm about to go on, I get that message and I'm like, well, what did he say? This? I don't know, man. This is our owner, man. We should have known this energy was going to happen, though, because after the game, which, again, don't know why they keep interviewing this man, but they got to do their job. They make headlines and write articles. He said, what do you think? I'm an idiot, right, Peebo? He said, you think I'm an idiot? They asked him about Mike McCarthy's job status, and we're going to talk about that here in a second. But, wow, man, Jerry Jones is real-time crashing out, and we can't do nothing about it. We just got to sit back and let this guy just continue to. And here's the problem. And I appreciate them asking whatever tough questions they may have asked him to trigger him. But see, he's the type. Y'all got toddlers. My son's not a toddler anymore, but he's kind of in that in-between stage, 7 years old, right? And he's at this stage where he knows when you ask him these questions, they're rhetorical, but he will purposefully answer it in the way you don't want it to be answered, right? Oh, well, son, if Johnny jumps off the bridge, you going to jump off the bridge? He's supposed to say no, right? But he want to be a smart ass. He going to say, yeah. Oh, yeah? You doing that? Okay. Yeah, I see where you go. What I'm getting at is Jerry, I feel like this Jerry is going to say, oh, y'all want me to do it a different way. Y'all think I can't do it my way. I'm going to lean more into my way. Tomorrow, breaking news. The Dallas Cowboys signed Charles Haley to a 3-year deal. He's going to do it his way, right? Like he's going to go out and do ridiculous things. So I'm afraid we're pushing Jerry further and further and further into the abyss of nothingness that is the Dallas Cowboys when it comes to building the team the right way. I'm just a little worried, man. I'm just a little worried that this is going to backfire. Jerry doing that shake. Yo, he real life crashed out. I can't wait to hear the audio. That's the only entertainment we got with this damn team. But anyway, man, let's hit this roundup real quick. Just a quick update. We got some Cowboys news, or at least something worthy of discussing in regards to Cowboys news. Since it's the bye week, you got to sit on this thing for a long, long time. So let's get into it real quick.
It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time!
Time.
It's time!
Time?
It is time for...
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Let me talk to you!
Jerry, real life crashing out, dog. Hey, if there's any more quotes that pops up, please let me know. You got to laugh through this pain. Speaking of pain, DaRon Bland, it was so promising that he would play. Oh my God. What a day to come back. I'm sorry, y'all. This is going to be all over the place type of show. I apologize. Breaking news. Come on back. Come here. Come here. Breaking news. The Las Vegas Raiders are finalizing a deal to trade Devontae Adams to the New York Jets for a conditional 3rd round that can become a 2nd round pick. Listen real quick. God, man. Jets ain't giving up. What, they 2-4? Jets ain't giving up. All right, let's get back to it, man. What's for a third? For a 3rd round pick? DaRon Bland. Okay. DaRon Bland was heading in the right direction to play in this game. And Stephen Jones, I felt like he kind of jinxed her. Hey, yeah, it looks like he's going to get a real shot to play unless he has a setback. Well, he had a setback. Quote from Stephen Jones. He had a little setback late in the week in terms of soreness, and we just didn't want to push that issue. We felt like giving him another full 2 weeks to build his confidence and to get out there and not have a setback was worth not having him out there. So hence why you didn't see Deron Bland, probably why you didn't see Kalen Carson either. They were like, look, we'll just give them both an extra week and we'll kind of concede that we're really not going to be up to snuff defensively against this Lions offense. Which, you know, if you listen to a show this week, said was going to take an A+ game from that front, but it also was going to take an A+ game from that back end, and it did not provide that. But yeah, so Deron Bland, we will see where he is at next, not this Wednesday, next Wednesday when they go out there and have practice and we'll get our practice report. I'd imagine he'll be ready to go. But now, and again, we'll have a question later on in the show. I'm starting to really worry about how healthy, you know, is there a chance that he'll re-injure? We'll talk to Dr. Boothby, I believe, next Monday. So he'll be able to give us more of an insight on Deron Bland's injury and the potential to re-injure it and the lingering effects, etc. So y'all stick around for that. I'm still tripping about Jerry, but also Devontae Adams being traded. A lot going on this morning. A whole lot going on this morning. Let's kind of try to reel it back into Dallas, though. That's what y'all here for. Y'all here to hear me talk about the Dallas Cowboys. And Coach McCarthy spoke yesterday. He was late, said some meetings ran, and one of the things he talked about was, hey, you know, I gave these questions to the team to take with them as they move forward. This is kind of how he phrased it.
You know, I gave him a number of questions today as far as things to think about, make sure that they are reflecting, make sure they are looking in the mirror, and you know, just make sure you're filling in the blanks because of, you know, why are we on this ebb and flow? You know, why do we perform 7 days ago the way we performed at 1 o'clock in the morning, and then come home and perform the way we did? So those are the kind of things we got to focus on.
Well, Coach, being that you're the head coach of this football team, I would hope you'd have those answers. Yeah. Asking these questions to the players and then, for whatever reason, relaying it to the media once again shows me a bit of a concern here between Monday to Friday. And there's going to be another quote later on in this show where it concerns me as well. But he had mentioned earlier where he admitted, hey, man, we don't always prepare that great. Sometimes we win when we don't. Sometimes we lose. It's like, why are you telling us this? Why are you telling us that you have no idea why your team is having ebbs and flows? You should know these things. But I got questions as well. The first two pertaining to Sunday. So we'll talk a little bit about Sunday. We talked about some of it on the post-game show, but, you know, Jesse so eloquently said 47-9. What do you want me to do? We'll try to go a little bit deeper here. So let's get to a couple of these questions. Actually, what I'm going to do, let me see. Yeah. What's what I'm going to do? We're going to get through all the questions. And then it is a therapy Tuesday. So we'll listen to you guys, hear from you, vent, get all your frustrations out. Question number 1. Was Dak pressing to atone for the offensive issues? Now, I half-heartedly joke about Dak having to be like Superman in an offense that, really a team, but in an offense that is not complimentary, like in any aspect. This offense is not complimentary in any aspect. You don't have a run game. Your offensive line is not good. Your scheme is whack. You got one receiver that threatens the defensive game plan. And really a rhetorical question, because the answer is yes. 100% he's pressing. But specifically to Sunday, and the reason why I bring that up is because, again, I half-heartedly joke about having to be Superman, and he does have to do that throughout the game. Sometimes maybe it has to be a full game. When you get into like a Seattle type of situation, or not Seattle, New Orleans Saints type of situation. Seattle, that's a good one, right? Seattle, right? He had to be Superman the full game. But we didn't get Superman. We got blank man. And we can't have blank man when we need you to be Superman, Dak. So to answer this question, yes, I 100% believe he was pressing, right? It felt like early in that game, and I joke about this before, these guys sometimes come out, I'm like, they're coming out as if it's the third quarter and they're already down by 20 points. They came out and they were just, there was really no rhythm or purpose to what they were doing. They were just like, hey, we got to go score. And we got to score a whole lot of points right now, right away. We're chasing points immediately. So, well, what's the plan here? Really wasn't a plan. It was just get out there and try to score as many points. And of course, that's what you want to do in general. But hey, you sometimes got to have a story to tell, right? You got to set things up. You've got to make them play your game or your brand of football. We don't even know what that is just quite yet. We really don't know what that is. But Coach McCarthy actually alluded to this. He said, quote, he was basically saying, did we have the wrong game plan? He said, quote, should we have been getting into a sprint or a race, might have been, when they had the faster car? Goes back to the game planning and preparation and things like that. And if you go and look at the first three possessions, because those are the only possessions that really matter for the Cowboys, maybe the fourth one, right? The first quarter and a half, two, then it was a wrap. They came out and it was just put the foot on the pedal and just try to score 28 points in two possessions. There was no rhyme or reason or rhythm like it was last week. And back to pertaining to the question at hand, he played that way. He played as if he was pressing like you were already down 28-0. Now, could it be because you understand you don't have a run game or an O-line that's great or a receiver two or a scheme? Sure. But that was kind of not the first thing, but one of the four questions was he pressing? Yeah, I think I could see it. And when you look on the other side of the field, right, you're talking about a team in Detroit who has built their team where they can play within a well-oiled machine. They don't rely on one player or two players. They're not built that way. The Cowboys aren't built that way. Dak, Lamb, you got to shoulder the bulk of this thing. Week in, week out, series in, series out, likely down in, down out. And if Dak is not on, we say this all the time, you're in trouble. What is your insurance? You don't have it. You out here riding around with no insurance. And he wasn't just not on. Once that interception happened, he was horrendous for the rest of the game. We can't ask you to be, and look, I'm going to ask you, fair or not fair. This is just this is what the team has given the Cowboys or given the fans. This is what the owner, the general manager, the coaching, it is what it is. So I'm going to ask you, right or wrong, to be Superman. But you can't be blank man. You can't be blank man with sidekicks like J5. He was blank man. Quite literally. 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and it all went downhill after that interception in the red zone. Another one. 5 turnovers the last 2 weeks. That's pressing to me. And then the manner of the turnovers. Now, the last interception, it was 40-9. Who cares? But the previous 4, they were all pressing, holding the ball in Pittsburgh, right? Trying to make a play. Nothing's there. Just take the sack. Trying to catch them off guard, get points, interception. Not holding the corner long enough. Not looking off the corner long enough. You look down to Tolbert, but I don't like the combination. That's a day. We can talk about it another day, but it is what it is. He said not holding him long enough and then going to CD. Great play by Branch too, but still. Pressing, man. He's pressing. And he was playing like blank man. My next question. Was a call made in-house? What call? Who you talking about, Sky? What is the old saying? Squeaky wheel gets the grease. Now, Zeke didn't publicly come out and complain. He was asked about his situation, and it was clear that he was frustrated about it, whatever, right? Fine. He's a football player. It happens. They all want to play. But he did allude to, we had a conversation. Don't know who we is. Who's we? But we had a conversation. And that conversation may have led to Ezekiel Elliott leading your team in rushing attempts a week after Rico Dowdle led it in 20 touches, 20 carries, 80-something yards, and a touchdown. Now, this really isn't about it mattering. I don't think that if Zeke or Rico gets 20 carries in this game, it matters, right? Like they were going to win. But I found it very interesting early in that game, Cowboys Nation. Zeke, first down run. Zeke, first down run. Zeke, first down run. Zeke, run. Zeke, run. The hell was Rico Dowdle? Me and Jesse were looking at each other like, did Rico get hurt? Did he hit one of these and say, I'm hurt? Nope. He wasn't hurt. Now, the game wasn't completely out of hand. Look, we went into this thing. Y'all know what I said. I didn't expect them to run well against this team anyway, but they just needed to have its moments. McCarthy clearly, or Dak, or whoever the hell is in charge of this thing, clearly didn't care about the run game. But if you're going to run it, you might want to run it with the better back, or the back who is quote unquote hot, whatever. Rico is hot from last week. Why is Rico only getting 1 touch in the first quarter? Why is Rico only getting 2 touches in the first half? All I could think of is a potential call was made in-house. And this is why I think a potential call was made. Listen to Mike McCarthy. They asked Mike McCarthy, they said, Coach, after Rico's coming off of a career-ish day, it really wasn't a career day, but a good performance, didn't really see Rico, what was the deal? What was going on? This is what Mike McCarthy said.
I gave him a number of questions today.
No, not the questions, Mike. Talk about Rico.
Clearly, on a reflection of him, I actually thought he did play well with his limited touches, but he definitely needs to touch the ball more.
Oh. Now, I know I just have a microphone. I talk in front of the camera, but I know 1 + 1 = 2. Let me hear this one.
Clearly, on a reflection of him, I actually thought he did play well with his limited touches, but he definitely needs to touch the ball more.
Now, class, squad, simple questions here. Who's the head coach? Who's the offensive play caller? Oh, it's Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy said he definitely needs to touch the ball. Then give him the damn ball. Who else? Mike, you got the play sheet, fam. You set the game plan. Who are you talking to? He definitely needs to touch the ball more. Mike. The buzzword this week is looking yourself in the mirror. Maybe he's having a Mike versus Mike moment. Or, because look how he said it. Just one more time.
Clearly, on a reflection of him, I actually thought he did play well with his limited touches, but he definitely needs to touch the ball more.
He definitely needs to touch the ball more. Who are you talking to? You know how we do. Rockefeller. Oh, my bad. Capafeller. Got me thinking, y'all. Really got me thinking. How does, he talks about complimentary football. Back to being serious here. Because again, you got to laugh through the pain. He preaches this. I don't believe Mike in general, but in regards to that, he preaches complimentary football. Gotta be balanced. Gotta be this and that. You come off a game where you show that, right? And you come into a game where you realize you're going to have to make every possession count. Every possession count. You were never going to beat these dudes 20-13. Never was going to happen. Not with that defense that you're rolling out there. Not with that offense that they have. So if you knew you had to kind of maybe slow this thing, he thought he had to speed it up. If he knew you kind of had to match them point for point, maybe it would have been a good idea to be a little bit more balanced, like you were last week. Now, is it for a lack of trying? I don't know. The score got out of hand. Now it doesn't take much for Mike to abandon the run, and you weren't running well anyway. You don't got great backs. You don't got. It is what it is. And we can go back into those details if you want. I don't think you have a great scheme. I don't think you have a great play caller for it, et cetera, et cetera. But at the end of the day, he even admitted we went out there with the wrong game plan. We tried to get into a sprint when we have the slower car, when they should have been more balanced, help their defense out in this situation as much as they can. And you don't do that by giving the squeaky wheel the grease when the squeaky wheel is Zeke. And again, this ain't got nothing to really do with, like, Zeke, this ain't on you, bruh. This ain't on you. You are who you are. Your 5 carries, 8 carries don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. But I just found it really interesting early in that game. Instead of leaning into Rico and doing the things that you were successful with last week, you went opposite. You said, hell, we're going to come out here like we're down 28-0 already and screw the run game and screw the guy who actually was good in the run game last week. Just another question that just kind of popped in my head here. Was that call Maiden House? 2 more, then we'll get to the phone lines. This one here, how much will getting healthier on defense matter? Clearly, it will matter a little bit, right? Like, there's no doubt about it, bro. You're going to get back Micah. You're going to get back Bland. You're going to get back D-Law, Kendricks, Carson, right? You're going to get all these guys back, and it will matter. But how much? That is like a legitimate question I'm asking myself or you or whomever, because when you had these guys, you saw that you still had issues. Now, you can say, well, Sky, early in the season, new scheme, fine, sure. But, like, when have you put together a complete defensive performance? Not even in New York, really. New York just couldn't score when they crossed the 50-yard line. That was their issue. They scored 1 touchdown, game's over. Or maybe it was 2. I can't remember if we were up by 8 or 7. But they scored 1 touchdown. It's a different story. That game is a whole different story. Pittsburgh, man, look, I worry about no damn Justin Fields. Told y'all about their run game. It's Fugazi. So since week 1, it's not like your defense really been putting it together anyway. In Pittsburgh, they weren't healthy. So I'm talking about when you were healthy. We saw what happened against the Saints. We saw what happened against the Ravens. I'm not even about to sit here and go on a rant about the defense against Detroit. You kind of knew that was coming, right? Like, at the end of the post-game show, I was kind of having a little fun with the whole games played on paper. Not played on paper, it's played on the field. On paper, the Cowboys are going to lose. But if the Cowboys are going to win, it's going to be 38-34. That's kind of, it was going to be a barn burner. Well, we couldn't even score a tutty, but it was going to have to be that way because I had no belief in this defense stopping that offense. None. You couldn't possibly be watching the Lions all year and watching your defense all year and then who you're without and believing that they were going to be better unless your name is Ryan Clark. This guy. I don't know. Ryan's all over the place. The Cowboys are a better run defense without Micah Parsons. Really? How'd it look out there against a team that's good at running the ball? Come on, man. So how much will it matter? I say it'll matter a little bit, 100%. But will it matter to the point where, hey, this defense can win us games? Before the season started, all healthy, before you saw a single snap, there was a part of me that said, man, by the time you get to week 10, 12, maybe. I don't have that belief. No, I don't have that belief at all. If we do want to get into the details of the defense, sure, you're out there with practice squad guys. You're out there with second string, third string, fourth string, fifth string guys. But it was your guys like Trayvon Diggs playing horrendously. not trying to tackle, getting burnt on the plays that, we was worried about Jamison Williams getting him on, right? Making him chase him. So, hell, even your better players was not playing well. So, how much will it matter? I think it matters a little bit. I don't think it mattered a lot, though. Final question. Has McCarthy lost this Cowboys locker room? This kind of pertains to the whole fire Mike McCarthy thing, right? Which they're not doing. And if it was a legitimate conversation, I have an interesting solution, but no need to even talk about it no more. I honestly think there would be more excitement moving forward if you fired him, but that's a whole nother question. Has McCarthy lost this locker room? I had to bring this up because if you go look at the last 4 home games, at home, you're supposed to be comfortable. You're supposed to be better. You're supposed to, show your best footing. We know what happened against Green Bay. It was a debacle. They started horrendously, but this is the MO under the McCarthy teams since like 2011 or 12 with the Packers all the way to Cowboys. That's slow starts. But anyway, 44-32. Gave up 143 rush yards in Green Bay, or at home against Green Bay. The very next home game, another 44-point outing for the defense, 190 rush yards. You become the first team in the modern era to allow 44 points in back-to-back home games. Okay, keep it moving. Against the Ravens, okay, they fought back. They were down 28-6 or something like that. Whatever it was. They were getting whooped. They fought back, but they gave up 274 rush yards. And then Sunday, 47-9. The worst home loss in the Jerry Jones era. 3 of the last 4 home games, you've given up 44 plus points. And you've allowed in each one of them 140 or more rush yards. McCarthy often comes out and he talks about, man, it's about the basics and we got to prepare better and the practice. And Dak came out and looked pissed off and said, we got to practice harder. We got to prepare harder. We can't just turn on Sunday. What? McCarthy asking the questions. Hey, man, why are we this way? Why are we? What? This leads me to maybe that he has not lost the locker room, but I have to ask the question. You're talking about basics. We're talking about preparation. We got to practice harder. We got to prepare harder. Can't just turn it on Sunday. You're 0-4 the last 4 games at the crib. 44 plus points. 3 of the last 4. Has he lost his locker room? I mean, look, teams lose. I get it. But this is a serious question. I got the answer, but I ask it anyway. How many teams have lost their home games in this manner in the last 4 outings? I tell you, none. You can go look at the worst teams in professional football right now. They're not losing like that. So that's a reflection to me, obviously, on the organization in general. But when I almost called him the head coach, maybe he is the head coach. When the owner, GM, president, or whatever comes out and says, I'm not thinking about it. What do you think? I'm an idiot? I'm not putting out any, guesses on when I'm going to fire the coach. Well, when are you? When are you going to have that conversation? How can you wake up and this be okay? And yeah, we're going to have fans that say, oh, they'll be fine, Sky. They'll be fine. All right, well, we'll have that conversation once they're fine, but how is this fine? Don't you have to make a move, man. You have to make a move. There's just no way. McCarthy gives up there. You can tell this dude he don't got the. I don't personally think. I'll give you my answer. Yes, I think he's lost the locker room. Yes, I'm going to stand 10 toes on it. They go out here, rip off 7, 8, 9 in a row, whatever. Go 7-1 after the bye. Cool. I'll come on here and eat the crow. Put some hot sauce on it. All that. Oh yeah, I put some honey hot on there. But I can't look at how this team plays at the crib, how they start, what I'm hearing, practice. This is the second time I'm hearing this. Man, we got to prepare better. We can't just turn it on Sundays. Sometimes when we prepare bad, we play good. We prepare good, we play bad. Basics and details and yada, yada, yada. Always hearing about accountability. How the players going to be held accountable when the owner's like, nah, this is cool? So, you can either sit on your hands, keep letting this season play out the way it is and hope for the best, or you can do something about it and see if that could be a catalyst for the rest of the season. And if not, the same outcome was going to happen anyway. And what I mean is, let's be real, y'all. McCarthy stays for the rest of the season. Are the Cowboys really going to make some noise? Not the way it's playing out right now. Not the way it's playing out right now. So me personally, I make a drastic move, multiple potentially, and see where that sends you. I was having this conversation, I think it was with Professor O. Last time they did this, 2010, the Cowboys went 5-3 after the fact, 6-2. They could have won 6-2. Somehow, some way, they were fighting for the playoffs after starting 1-7. You're not 1-7, but the way you're going about it, you're not making any moves. You're not going to, coaches ain't changing. You'll get a player here and there back throughout the season. Don't think that's going to be enough. I think you have to send a message. And benching Jordan Phillips ain't the message, right? You got to send a message. Sounds like they're not going to do it, so now you just have to hope for the best. So there you have it. Those are my questions. I know y'all got a whole lot of them. We'll get to them here in a second. But let me end this whole thing by at least talking about one positive from Sunday's game. The only positive, and this is the second time this has happened. It's getting sickening. This is getting sickening. Our Specs Key Club player of the game, Brandon freaking Aubrey. Hey, Brandon, I'm not down in the dumps because of you. I'm not down in the dumps because of you. You are the saving grace of this football team right now. It just sucks when your kicker has to be the player of the game 2 out of your first 4 games. And none of them are because you kicked some 60-yard game-winning field goal. No. That's not why. He's a Specs Key Club player of the game because you lost 47-9, and the only reason why it wasn't 47-0 is because Brandon Aubrey was 3 for 3 with another 50-yard field goal, and he has the record now for most consecutive games of 50-yard field goals. So shouts out to Brandon Aubrey, this week's Specs Key Club player of the game. Oop, that's not what I meant to do. That's what I meant to do. Specs, your one-stop shop for unbeatable selections of beer, wine, liquor, and finer foods. Whether you're planning a party or just looking for the perfect bottle, Specs has you covered. Great prices, expert advice, and the best brands. You can find it all at Specs. As for the Key Club, if you join, you become a Key Club member, you get amazing offers like the member discounts, the special in-store events, birthday gifts, exclusive VIPs, access to limited resources or limited release products, and much, much more. Make sure you hit up your local Specs, Cowboys Nation. Cheers to you. Cheers to savings. All right, let's go ahead, take a quick little break, drink a little bit of water, some coffee, and then get into this therapy session. Call on in and vent.
You're listening to A to Z Sports.
Do it live!
At some point, hoping to broadcast
In front of the millions
of Cowboys fans to bring you the real. But for now, strap up and here's your host, Skywalker Steele.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you. We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. Appreciate you, Specs. How many of y'all ran the Specs during that game? You know, I wasn't even really tripping during that game, from anger. No. And this is why. It was embarrassing. Don't get me wrong, but when you've become numb to embarrassment, that's how you know your team is down bad, bro. Legitimate question. Have the Cowboys suffered the most blowout losses? Try to think real quick. 1, 2, 3. They had 2 left. So 5 blowout losses. And you want to count the Cardinals? Shit, I might count the Cardinals. You lose by 8 points to the Cardinals last year. Goddamn blowout. I wonder how many teams have had this many blowouts. I might have to look that up. You got 3 blowouts in the last 4 home games. Buffalo and San Fran. The worst teams in football. Have they had 5 blowouts in the last 22 games? Okay. Let's go hit the phone lines. I want to start it off with toxic. I don't want to keep you on hold too long. I don't know how long you got. Usually I end it with your toxic, but hey man, look. They're going to have a hard follow. What's good with you, Toxic? Good morning. Oh, yeah. We're good, man. Oh, so you watched that? That was, we were talking about, hey, man, like, how do we go about this? Because there's nothing to analytically break down. You just got manhandled, mauled, embarrassed, whooped, punked, all of it. There's nothing to break down from an analytical standpoint. And it was just like, what do we do here? Oh, can't hear him. Well, keep going. Now you got you. I had you turned down.
I'm so toxic. I destroyed the audio.
No, that wasn't you.
So a few key points. The first thing I would like to say is, looking at the Lions are who I want the Cowboys to be. The Cowboys the Lions have a physical culture, and it is supported from the top down. And you can see how everybody embraces, they know their role, they know what they're supposed to do. It's truly the one band, one sound. Everything Dan Campbell says happens.
Starts from the top, bro.
Yep, and I respect it. I don't like the Lions, but I respect the way they built their team. And then I look at the Cowboys, and we go, well, how are they built? Well, they're built like your owner, who is a front runner, who goes on live radio and starts crying and saying he's going to get people fired because there's a little adversity on his plate. And instead of rising to the occasion and being, a model professional, he crumbles in front of us just like his team. He is a reflection of what this team really is. And that is the problem, and you've been nailing on the head. You had your running back, who we all knew was washed, except the few faithful that honestly think that Zeke still has a game. He goes and throws a bitch fit, and now he gets the ball after you let Rico Dowdle. There's so much of this, I just don't understand why we keep getting in our own way. Like, who thinks this is a good idea? And for Mike McCarthy, I want to know what you did this offseason. I want verifiable receipts to show that you did what you did, because I don't see a fucking thing that you did. Even from last week, you stopped what was working, and then you went back to the same stupid shit. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, and if you are that much of a cuckold that you can't grow a spine and you would much rather be walked over publicly, that's all I need to know about you as a man. That's all I need to know about you. If you're there for a paycheck, just say you're there for a paycheck so you can get more fucking food for your fat ass, because all you're going to be is an Ozempic ad after you're done with the NFL. Get the fuck out of here, Fat Garrett. And the last thing I'll say is, happy fucking birthday to Jerry Jones. You ruined this team, and I hope it's your fucking last birthday. Have a good day.
I said it was going to be tough to follow Toxic. Ooh, yeesh. I couldn't get there. I couldn't get there. I'm sorry for the children that are listening, if there are any. Hopefully not. Hopefully we got the demographic of like 15 to 60, right? 60 plus. Yeah, 15, cool. You can hear all that. You 10 up in here. Woo. You gotta, hey, Toxic. You gotta let me say, hey, put the kids to bed. That's that's the warning. Put the kids to bed. Cover your ears. God damn, Toxic said. I ain't got the goddamn.
I don't have the patience to jack with you today.
I don't got the patience today. I feel you, Toxic. I mean, you always spitting, bro. I said this maybe halftime or post game. Brought it up here. Just look across the field, man. Oh, it was post game because I said the only thing I can take away from this is hoping that he looks across the field and say, "That's how I want to get it done. That's how it should be done." And it won't be because they have an actual general manager who literally knows he has a 3 to 4 year span to make this thing work. Who knows? Yeah, we might have been good last year, but I better make this team better to reach where we want to go. Or I got about a year or two and they'll fire my ass and bring somebody else in here. But yeah, they're built one band or one sound, one band, one sound. And you see it. It starts with their city. They play like their city, number one, right? Blue collar city. They bring in Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell is a tough, hard-nosed, rugged coach. Ben Johnson, who might have all these, cool-looking things, but don't get it twisted. They want to play a physical brand of football. Aaron Glenn, on the other side, defensive coordinator, plays a physical, we talk about a physical, aggressive brand of football. They are literally a complementary football team. And, hoping Ben Johnson could bring out some of that here, but don't believe that's the case. Definitely after what happened this morning. Jerry going, oh, y'all think I can't do it my way? Bet. Chan Gailey, come on back. I got this weird feeling he's just going to be petty because of what happened this morning. I'm just saying. All right, Mississippi Cowboys, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on with you?
Not much, man.
Man, I just wanted to point out two things, man. First thing, I just listened to Jerry's talk on the radio show. That was some comedy.
Boy.
Man, I'm glad that those men on the radio went at him, and they struck nerves at him, and
so let me ask you a question. I'm sorry, let me ask you a question because I didn't hear it yet. So when he said all that, were they responding or did they just kind of just say, okay, Jerry, okay, and finish it up? Like what happened after the fact?
I mean, there were some responses, but he was pretty much interrupting them a lot. And he even threatened to fire one of the guys that was asking questions. He was like, I'll get somebody else to ask me these, or whatever. It was crazy. They were asking him about the off season and things like that. And then he was going on saying, what players are you going to get? It's week 7, all this type shit. It was insane. Jerry was just losing it. That's all I can say.
Okay.
Man,
what you got for me, though, Mississippi?
Yeah, so, man, I was just – one of the questions I just had, man, is that when I watched that game Sunday, and I look at the Cowboys offense. I don't see guys I can't see guys being schemed open. There's, just still a run game. There's a run game, just things like that. It's every week. But when I'm watching every other team play, I'm seeing the run game being excellent. I mean, you watch Detroit play.
Bro, just watch Detroit.
They got guys. Yeah, you got guys getting wide open. You got receivers wide open. You got you see big holes.
Fam.
Even the Jets last night.
Well, the Jets, I don't like Nathaniel Hackett, but they got a new play call. There was a stat in the Detroit Lions game in the first half. How many attempts did Jared Goff have? 15 or something, 17? He had, I think, 12.
18, I think.
18, okay. He had 12 completions. All 12 completions, or 10 of the 12 completions, one of the two, were no tight window throws. Meaning, mother was just wide open. And every last completion for Dak was a tight window throw. I mean,
exactly.
This is just ridiculous. And then you talk about the run game. First of all, David Montgomery he's just tough to bring down. But go look how they were just washing this defensive line. I love wide zone. Y'all know this. I'm a huge fan of it. We talk about how they have a bunch of different schemes, offensively on the ground they can run, but their base, their foundation, everything is built off of wide zone. But they had this one wide zone play where they run the wide zone right. They have the left tackle, Penei Sewell, kind of seal off. Instead of, going with the zone, he seals off the left defensive end, and they have the inline tight end loop around and take care of the backer. I mean, that's a creative way to run it. Boom, you get 7-10 yards. Like, I just look at these teams, man. I'm just so jealous, bro. Just so jealous when it comes to like complimentary football.
Yeah, it's jealous, man. I'm hoping that, I don't know how this season's going to play out, but, obviously if they do, end up moving on from McCarthy and getting a new coach.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely.
I would like a guy like Ben Johnson or just somebody like that who could help this run scheme out and, be able to help Dak out more, with the play action, passing wise and things like that. So hopefully we just get to, hopefully we get something different after this season, man. But,
get ready for Mike Zimmer.
Hey, it's always it's always go Cowboys. Hope you have the best rest of your day, Steve.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Yeah, maybe I could put it out here in the universe. Yeah, Ben Johnson would be the perfect hire. I said this to many people in detail why, but he'd just be the perfect hire, man. He gets it. He 100% gets it. But the strange thing about it though is Ben's not picking the players. His general manager's picking the players, and then Ben is leaning into his strengths of his team. Like, they have a philosophy, and that's why I say there's just no rhyme or reason. Like, we knew this going into the season, and you were hoping that 4 and 88 could put on the cape. But we got blank man. We didn't get Superman. Can't have blank man. I don't think it starts with Solari. I just think it starts with your general manager. But yeah, all the mics are, and that was from Smokey Drop 2. Look, try to put this. Mike Solari is awful. Okay, who brought Mike Solari here? Who brought Jeff Blasco here? Dig deep into Mike McCarthy, and you will understand he does not give about the run game. I said this on Twitter. He does not care whatsoever. He doesn't get. Now, he does not have the juice to bring in players, but I wish he had a little bit more. He was a little bit more boisterous about bringing in certain players. You know why he's not standing on the table to draft a back? You know why he's not standing on the table to bring in a Derrick Henry? Because he don't give a. So I don't start with Mike Solari to me. It starts, if you want to go deeper, but we're just talking about coaching, your head coach. Your head coach brought in Mike Solari. Your head coach brought in Philbin. Your head coach brought in Jeff Blasco. Your head coach got rid of old boy Skip Pete. Wasn't a Mike McCarthy guy. Your head coach can give two damns about run game. He talks that talk. But if you listen to him, and one day maybe we'll have, I'm not going to bring it up just yet. Maybe once they fire him and we'll see what they do. If you listen to him talk about just offense, whether it be run game, whether it be the modernization of it, it's bland. He doesn't care for it. I digress. And Jake the Great. I ain't heard from Jake the Great in a minute. You all right, man?
I've been. I'm good, Skywalker. How are you doing, man? How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing fine. I get a little worried though when I don't hear from somebody like a year, and then we start, we getting whooped. And
nah, man, listen, man. I was thinking that I let some new callers call in. I had a prediction for a good season, but man, Skywalker, look what Jerry Jones is doing to us, bro. Look what Jerry Jones is doing, bro. Cowboy Nation is tearing each other apart. People ripping apart Dak. Got Dak. Dak. People blaming Parsons. Parsons didn't even play. People blame McCarthy. It's all Jerry Jones, people. Jerry Jones has done this. And the thing that what Jerry Jones understands, we got a weapon against Jerry Jones. Our weapon is new media. We ain't stupid, Jerry Jones. We watch new media. During the off season, you think we watching ESPN? No, we not. We watching Skywalker Steel. We watching Voch. We watching Law and all them boys. They breaking down film. So when you bring your boy Mike McCarthy, and y'all can't blame Mike McCarthy, man, because if you think a Giddy party is bad, you ain't seen nothing like a Jerry Jones yacht party. Because after that yacht party, he gonna come back clapping, and all he gonna be saying is, "Way to go, guys!" He gonna turn to Jason Garrett, bro. Mike McCarthy has been gilded. Whatever balls he had, whatever dude was in Green Bay, that ain't him. Yeah,
it is.
Jerry Jones has castrated that man. It might be a little bit of him, but he's
I'll let you go. I'll let you have your moment, Jake. It's been a minute. Have your moment, Jake. Have your moment.
Man, listen. He's been castrated, bro. Mike McCarthy comes out and says the dumbest things. He thinks we stupid. Say, Mike McCarthy, why you ain't giving Rico Dowdle the ball? Oh, man, we got to go talk to the offensive coordinator. Man, dude, you is the offensive coordinator. Why we ain't getting the ball, man? You know, but it's all Jerry Jones, people. We got to stick together. I want him to crash out. I want him to get old and senile in front of our eyes and start saying, what? What'd you say to me? You got me messed up. I got billions of dollars. I want that kind of crash out because finally, you're a billionaire. I got to suffer. People got to come up to me and say, oh, how about them Cowboys? And I'm like, bro, you don't know watch football. Why are you coming up to me and telling me about the Cowboys? I need him to crash out and sleep rough. That's the only thing that can get me peace. Whoever that reporter was that asked him that question that says, you think I'm an idiot? They need to bring him every day. He needs to crash out and feel some of this pain that we're feeling because it's all him. He did nothing in the offseason. He didn't give Dak no weapon.
Hey.
The defense ain't got nobody out there. Nobody. It's all him. Let's all get together and keep the pressure on this man. We need him to crash out. It might not change nothing because we ain't going to check his pockets a billionaire. But if he can sleep on the cold side of the bed, like, oh, they talking about me, let's get him to crash out. That's all I want. It's Jake the Great. And I'm out there, man. Let's make him crash out. That's all I got for the day. Have a great day.
Appreciate you, big dog. You know, y'all watch Marvel. There's a Hydra is the evil organization, right? And Red Skull had a quote, and you hear this in all types of movies. You cut the head of the snake, another one would just grow. I'll keep talking about Jerry. You cut the head of the snake, the son's head will just grow. So you're going to need a multiple crash out here. It ain't just one. You need both, you know? So there ain't light at the end of this tunnel if it's Jerry who, God forbid, does see the light. Ain't no light at the end of the tunnel with that man. So I hear what you're saying, man, but it ain't just Jerry. Say Joneses. You gotta Joneses when it comes to the whole team building thing. Just saying. Steven is right there. Steven in the back like, yeah, you're right, Jake. I'm just waiting. Now, maybe Steven will surprise me and say, you know what? I'm going to take ownership of all the business stuff, and I'm gonna let Will. Maybe that'll be a shocker, but that's your GM. That's your GM, man. Deshaun, good morning.
Good morning. Put the kids to sleep.
All right, y'all heard him. So, hey, if you a young buck in here, put the kids to sleep. Now, that don't mean just go in here and go crazy. Now, I wasn't prepared for toxic, but I'm prepared for you. Go ahead.
So, Jerry Jones, senile having ass, sit up here is crashing out because of what he did and what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy fat ass would have stood up here and said there and just take whatever what he's doing. And on top of that, so what he was talking to, Scott, you said earlier, he was talking to Jerry because senile Zeke having heavy ass want to sit up here and bitch and moan and complain about not getting the ball. And then, so now they're giving him the ball, and now you look even more stupid, and now you sit up here Now you get 1 or 2 yards fair carry, and now everybody looking at you, duh. So now, guess what? You make the situation worse than it already was. And then my second point is, if you know that your defense is fucking garbage, why would you stand there and try to run the ball, and not run the ball, pass the ball over and over and over and over and over again, and then let your quarterback stand there and literally get drilled multiple times over and over and over and over again over the course of a 4-quarter game? And then you let
No, I was anticipating. My bad. Go ahead.
No, almost over. But and then Ben, he's over here out just scheming every person in God knows world. You even said it yourself. Jared Goff have no fucking missed it. No effing. He had no effing problem just dotting your team down the field because Scott, your defense is tired. It's tired. And see, here's my issue. Why the fuck can you, Bots, Foots, and all these new media can describe what the hell's going on? And also, Scott, I want you to do this. Go back to like 2022 when Mike McCarthy was talking about how, which he lied. He was talking about how when you pass the ball a lot, you put the offensive line back on their fucking heels. And so he's like, we need to run the ball and stuff like that, and then lie straight blatantly into our face just to get the job of Kellen Moore. So here's the question now. Here's the $1 million question. Was the main issue Kellen or was the main issue Mike? Because I think it's both, but I think Mike is the head of the snake, though. That's all I got for you.
Well, answer your question. Both. They both are an issue, right? Clearly, they've shown that. But that's all you got for me, Deshaun?
Yeah, that's all.
All right, man. I appreciate it. That wasn't too bad. You could have put the kids down for a nap. They ain't had to go to bed for that one. For Toxic, they had to go to bed. Don't wake back up. Turn the lights out. Toxic must mess around and get me fired. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, man. It was both. Like I said a couple weeks ago, right? They both have their issues. Both of them have their issues. Yeah, man. Mike, I told y'all at the beginning, Mike a liar to me, and I have to believe it till I see it. I mean, I won't believe it until I see it. His MO was never run guy. No. Never, ever, ever. Even in Green Bay, when he had successful rush offenses, schematically, they weren't anything impressive. And clearly, the schematics of things are starting to pass him by. I mean, my guy can't even put together back-to-back creative outings to start games. We got excited. I did, admittedly, excited about what I saw to open up the game in Pittsburgh. And then what I saw to open up the game here, nothing like it. Now, again, going back to the game, getting to the red zone, number one, cannot have the turnovers again, right? You cannot turn the ball over. Was that on first down or third down? I can't remember. Number two, you got to score when you get down there. Field goals ain't going to do it. I think you're like the 30th ranked red zone team, and that was before the turnover started. But once again, Brian asked me this question. He said, what's more concerning, the red zone or the run game? I said the run game because you're having issues in the red zone because you can't run. Like when you get to the red zone, you have to have the threat and the ability to run the football. You constantly get down there and you're first and goal or first and whatever in the red zone. Pass. Second, pass. Third, pass. Do you understand? The further you get down the field, the higher percentage that it is you're going to mess up in regards to throwing the rock. That's just going to happen. The field shortens. So now we're talking about penalties can increase, which happened down there, right? Granted, it was incomplete pass anyway. Interceptions can happen, which has been happening the last 2 weeks. Sack fumbles can happen, which happened in Pittsburgh. Because you can't run the ball. All right, brother. Can't run the ball. Bet not turn it over, but you got to score a touchdown. Every time out against that team. Because field goals ain't going to do it. Kicking field goals is not going to beat that team. Field goals can beat Pittsburgh. Oh, yeah. No problem about it. I mean, that offense is not good. Field goals wasn't going to do it here. So for me, it's the running game. What was more concerning for me. Because if you get that going, that means in the red zone, it's a threat. It's not been a threat this year. And if it continues to be that way, I actually don't expect things to change down there. We're 6 weeks in, you haven't scored 3 touchdowns offensively yet. Right? Did you score 3 touchdowns? Did you score 3 touchdowns against the Ravens? You might have. So I could be wrong with that one. But you might have one game where you scored 3 offensive touchdowns out of 6 weeks. It's not good, Bob. It's not good. But we got issues between the 20s now, too. Or we've had those issues. But once they get down inside the 20, it heightens. And that's where we're getting the last 2 weeks blank man and not Superman. That's why I like the way that Detroit does it. Detroit is not leaning on one specific player or 2 players to really hold their offense up. It's a well-oiled machine. This thing is it's a well-oiled machine, from the play caller to the line to how they do it, the why, the purpose, the building. It's all there. And you saw the Cowboys get rocked. You saw them get set up by how Ben Johnson does it. And, you know, talking to one of the Detroit people that actually covered the team, he said, hey, y'all only see the good things, but sometimes he can get a little cute. And I'm like, man, if that's what you consider it, then fine. I will take that here in Dallas. 100%. Drummer Cam, good morning, man.
What's guy? How's it going?
Say again?
How's it going?
Oh, it's good, brother. How are you?
You know, just still recovering from my hangover from Sunday.
Oh, damn! They sent you to drinking,
bro.
Don't let them
what,
do it.
What is he supposed to do?
Don't let them do that to you, drummer. Don't let them do that to you, bro.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, I think this shit's such a mess, dude. It's such a mess. I don't understand. What kills me more than anything else is just the lack of incompetence of accountability at the head, right? Like, if I'm Mike McCarthy, how the fuck can I look at what I put on the field from a scheme standpoint, whether offense or defense? How can I look at what I put on the field and be like, well, we didn't prepare, right, guys? We didn't prepare. Practice was, was all right, but sometimes we win. Sometimes. What the fuck are you saying? What are you pointing the finger at? You obviously don't give a flying fuck about anything that's going on this football field because you're getting paid and your money's guaranteed. If I'm doing anything, if I'm in his position where I may not have a job next year and I actually care about having a job, I'm going to throw everything at the wall to see what sticks. As a man, how the fuck can you stand up there in front of the media and go, yeah, it's preparation? Motherfucker, preparation starts from you. It starts with you. Don't fucking come to me and say, yeah, we didn't prepare well. Fuck you. I ain't buying that shit. Get the fuck out of here. You are not a coach. You are not a coach. You're just a fat fuck, just like Toxic. I'm getting on the fat fuck bandwagon. You're a fat fucking Jason Garrett. Get the fuck out of here.
Hey,
my bad.
No, you cool. I'm just trying to catch it. That's all. It's therapy today, bro. Sometimes you gotta get it out.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense. You are going to sit there and throw the same product on the field over and over and over again and be like, this isn't working. No shit, it's not working. And you're not changing or doing anything about it. Make it make sense.
I can't make it make sense, brother. I feel like I'm not there, but just all we can see is what happens on the sidelines on game day, what happens in these pressers. Just honest question for those who are team Mike McCarthy. Does he look like a guy on game days? Does he look like a guy at these pressers that you think that these players are excited to run through a wall behind? They're playing for or out there trying to win for, or he gets them, ready from an emotional standpoint. I don't see it.
No, not at all. It's more like Samuel L. Jackson said. Do I look like a bitch? Yes, you do.
Or What's that smell? I smell. I can't say the rest, but if you know what it is, you know what it is. That's all.
Sure. All right, man. That's all I got. I'll let you get on to it.
All right, man. Appreciate you, Jump King.
Oh, hey, real quick.
What?
I sent you a DM on Twitter with a link to the video for the Jerry audio.
I got it, bro. I got it. We're going to play it at the end of the show.
All right.
Yeah. Appreciate you. You said around 12-minute mark?
Yeah, it's around 12, 13 minutes. That's when things. It's not. I don't think it got overly heated, but it was some Jerryisms for sure.
Oh, let's see. If I get 30, 40 seconds in and it ain't, I'm just get rid of it. But all right, man. Appreciate you, Jump King.
Yeah, it is.
I feel like these are the calls Jerry Jones. Yeah. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I feel like these are the calls Jerry Jones needs to hear. These are the calls. I mean, maybe Jerry listens to the radio. And on the radio, they appreciate the bring it down a little bit. Look, I don't mind y'all cussing and thing. That's fine, man. But y'all, I gotta get my button ready. But seriously, these are the calls I feel like Jerry needs to hear. On the radio, you're not getting this. You might get some people upset, but you're not really like Jerry, man. We fed up. And again, when I look at this ain't because of one singular person or thing. Now, I brought the stat up when I asked the question, have they lost the locker room? Because McCarthy's been a part of this. But the issue is much deeper than one singular person or thing. Below the singular person, in my opinion. But it is what it is. All right, let's see here. You know what? I'm going to end with Los. Let's go Marco 843, then end with Los. So hold tight, Los. I know you're at work. Good morning, Marco.
What up, Scott, my brother? I'm going to use some breakfast. My bad. I wanted to get back to you. I want everybody hitting on these songs and everything, but I want to hit that DMX. Here we go again. Here we go with Cowboy fans. Yeah, that was a hard song. But here we go with Cowboy fans telling me they want me to get a new coach. They want me to get a new offensive coordinator.
Yep.
They want me. It's Jerry Jones. Here we go again. And the common denominator
for 30 years.
Hey, everybody might not like me for this. The common denominator is number 4. I'm sorry. Mike McCarthy get called all the best plays, but
no.
Like the plays was working with.
The common denominator they've been asking this for 30 years. He only 30.
Yeah, but yeah. I can understand that, but hey, we went 12-5 for how many years? But and then I'm saying, why won't everybody? This is my question, Scott. Nobody wants to blame Ford. What has Ford got on us, bro? I mean, I'm not a big Dak guy. But what does he have on us, bro? Like
blame for what? This game, or blame in what general? And be more specific. This game, because if anybody, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are talking about how Dak's game was terrible.
Not even just this game. I'm talking about the game before the Steelers. What, the Steelers game? The game before that?
Well, the game in the Steelers, he did what we asked him to do. You got to be Superman at some point in that game, and he did, and he won the game. So we didn't get Superman. We got Blank Man.
Scott, I don't. This is what I'm saying. I don't believe that to be worse than my boy out there in Minnesota, Atlanta's quarterback,
right,
or the guy we just played, Jared Goff. But he seems to do. This is year 9 for number 4, and he seems to do the same bull every time. And then he'll say, "Oh, I should have held my eyes. I should have held my eyes on in the flat." Man, why are you telling me this same? And I'm starting to call him Pastor Prescott. He's starting to preach to me real good. Tell me everything.
Yeah, I don't even listen to him because he gonna give you the what do you call it, political correct answers. I don't really listen to him.
Hey, Scott, I don't want Jerry Jones gone. I don't want Mike McCarthy gone.
What?
Hey, the problem with Cowboys is that we're afraid of change.
Wait. You all over the place. So we're gonna stick here on this one. Let's peel these layers back. Let's peel these layers back because you on one today. I know you don't like Dak, but I mean, my guy, you can't possibly be serious right now. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold
brother.
on.
I want to hear you.
Let's start off with what you said about you don't think you think basically he's better than the quarterback in Minnesota. He's better than the quarterback in Atlanta. And
no, not better. The same. Not better. The same.
You think he's the same as Sam Darnold?
I mean, I'm going off for this year. What have you did for me lately? That's what everybody like to tell me. What have you did for me lately?
So, oh brother, you think he's the same as Sam Darnold and Kirk Cousins? You basically telling on yourself because your words were, I don't think he's worse off than those guys. Go look at.
I didn't mean it like that.
Go look at the situations. That's the difference, right? Go look at the situation. I would love O'Connell. I would love Brian Flores. I would love the what's the coordinator that was with the Rams over there in Atlanta. I would love for my franchise to be as aggressive as those two teams have been. I would love, and you said we're afraid of change, brother man. We are literally asking for change. You just don't want to change out the two. You said I don't want Jerry gone and I don't want McCarthy gone. You want four gone. Sir, what has Jerry Jones and Mike McCarthy shown you in Jerry for 30 years, but McCarthy for the last 5 years that make you believe he's more valuable than Dak Prescott? And that's the question I want to ask you. Why is Mike McCarthy more valuable than Dak Prescott?
Okay, I'll answer that question for you. And I can't answer it with Dak and Prescott. I mean Dak and McCarthy. But this is what I'm going to say.
No. Don't hold on. Stop. Because you're going.
Okay.
You can't say I'd rather have him than Dak and say I'm not going to answer it about Dak. Why is McCarthy more valuable to you than Dak Prescott?
Hey Scott, it's not that McCarthy's more valuable, but I heard this story before about Jason Garrett, and then everybody said it was the play calling with
Where's
Jason?
My boy, where's Jason Garrett right now?
He's at home, but hey, this is what I'm saying, bro. And he's at home. And where's what's the name? He's in Philly.
Where's Scott Linehan? First of all, Jason Garrett didn't even call plays with Dak
not
for
Jason
real.
Garrett, I'm talking about
Scott Linehan.
Kellen Moore.
Well, okay, and Kellen Moore's on his third team, about to be his fourth team in 3 years. Where's Scott Linehan? Out of football, right? And Mike McCarthy's about to be out without a job next year.
Hey, Scott, this is what I'm saying right here. Washington wasn't scared of change. The Texans weren't scared of change, and the Cowboys are scared of change. If you change and you don't pay Dak Prescott $60 million and let him walk away, and we can rebuild.
Listen to what you're saying. Listen to what you slow down. Your hatred for Dak is overcoming common sense of what you're saying, brother. I said this before. You can move on from Dak.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Bring me in a draft a quarterback. Bet. Cool. But the change that you keep saying you want isn't going to change with a new quarterback, because the change that needs to happen happens way above the quarterback, bro. Way above it. How can you come on here and say, I don't want Jerry Jones to change. I don't want Mike McCarthy to change. Basically, you don't want Steven to change. You just wanted anybody but Dak Prescott. Brother, for 30 years, it was anybody but, for 22 years, it was anybody but Dak Prescott. What was the outcome? And who has been the common denominator? The change you really want is not just for. Cool. Hey, I'll play your game. Bet. Let's bring in that rookie quarterback. Are we going to go spend money in free agency?
I can't. Bro.
I said bet. Let's go. Let's play your game. Let's get this new rookie quarterback. It's not happening, but let's play a game. We got the new rookie quarterback. Cool. On a rookie deal. Oh, snap. We had a rookie quarterback on a rookie deal. What did we do with that money? Nothing. So if we get the new rookie quarterback, are we going to go out and spend in free agency? Are we going to make aggressive trades? Are we going to bring in the right coaches to make that quarterback better? The Bobby Slowicks, the Mike McDaniels, the Sean McVays, the Matt LaFleur's, the Kyle Shannon. Like, are we going to bring in those the Andy Reids? Oh, is our defense going to be able to deal with his ups and downs? We're watching a historic, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, Pat Mahomes, look human this year, bro. Human. They're 5-0. They're 5-0. You know how many times the Chiefs, shouts out to Henny, how many times the Chiefs have given up 40 points in the last 4 years? I'll go find it. I'll go find it for you. You know how many times?
No, how many?
0. You know how many times the Cowboys have given up 40 points in the last 7 damn games? 4.
Probably 100 times. Hey,
4.
Hey, Scott, let me tell you something, though, Scott. We tried. Hey, we drafted you. We drafted you, the defensive players. Yeah, we drafted you these guys. Number 1 overall. They're just not working out. Like I said a couple years ago, we should have got rid of Zach. We should have been looking for Zach Martin's replacement 2 years ago, bro. Like, and I'm gonna tell you, bro.
But you want to keep that guy, right?
Huh?
You want to keep that guy?
Who?
You said Jerry, because you keep saying Jerry, but to me, it's not. It's Jerry and his minions, him and his son. Really, that's who it is. But we'll just put it under there as Jerry. So go ahead.
But this is what I want my Cowboy fans to say, bro. Just tell the truth. Bohr ain't got it, bro, and it's okay, man. I love my Cowboy fans. We diehard Cowboy fans. Before, in the clutch, he's not Kobe, he's not Jordan, he's not. No. Not even.
No. Four is not an all-time clutch performer. He's made plays in the clutch. This ain't got nothing to do with clutch. 47-9 ain't clutch. 20-13, 17 is clutch. 47-9 is not clutch. Throwing the Giants at the end of the season is clutch. The Seattle Seahawks game, the 2 times playoffs and non-playoffs, that's clutch. But 40-7 or other blowout, no, nobody's saying that.
Scott, can I make my last point? Here goes my last point.
No. When you say he ain't got it, what is it?
Oh, you want me to tell you what it is? Yeah. When we played the 49ers and my defense held you to 19 or whatever, 20 points.
And don't give me a game. Explain to me what is it so we can have the conversation. Because I might probably am going to agree with you here, but I just want to know what you mean by it.
Well, I'm going to tell you like this. When the game on the line and the pressure is up against a good team, I ain't talking about the Giants. I don't want to care about the Steelers. I'm talking about when we see the 49ers in 2 weeks, not this weekend, but the next 10, he's going to be nervous, sweating. His palms will be sweaty. Yeah. I guarantee.
Oh, I definitely think he presses.
Have all their players.
That's for sure.
Huh?
I said I definitely think he presses. So I'll tell you, like I probably already told you before, like I've told many people 1,000,000 times here. I don't think Dak Prescott is the quarterback that can do this thing by himself. Whenever he's asked to do it, you may be able to do it once in a while. Maybe. But that's not the way you're never going to win a Super Bowl with him or probably anybody in that sense. If you have to be that guy 3 out of 4 times in a playoff run. But Dak Prescott could be we've seen it, an amazing complimentary when he has a compliment to his game. Is he the guy to go out there that you want to say, yo, just throw it 40, 45 times for 17 weeks and in the playoffs and you're going to win a Super Bowl? I don't agree with that. I think in the playoffs, he absolutely needs help. Not just help of an amazing team. Yes, quarterbacks would love to have 9, 10, all pros and pro bowlers, and they go out there and play like that in the playoffs. The Cowboys haven't had that. But I just mean from top down, organizational and down. Pat Mahomes is not Pat Mahomes in Dallas, brother. He's not. He's not Pat Mahomes in Carolina. He's not Pat Mahomes in Jacksonville. But he went to an organization that has a Hall of Fame quarterback guru, a Brett Veach, one of the best, if not the best general manager in football, and sat behind a guy who, Alex Smith made he got his career remade with a guy who was a real quarterback guru. And now you got one of the greatest of all time who's not playing that way, and they're still 5-0. So it takes more than Dak. I'm with you. And anybody that thinks that, Dak can't get it done if he has to go out there and be a superhero or he has to go out there and be the guy, I agree. No. But for one game, Niners, yeah, sure, I needed you for that one game. But in general, I don't think he can do it in the playoffs by himself. And I've said this for years. I think he's going to need a complimentary game for 4 weeks to get to the Super Bowl. So that's just fact.
Well, Scott, so who do we need then? If he can't, who's the complimentary piece? We gave him Amari Cooper.
No, it's not a singular person. It's not a singular person, my boy.
But Scott, this is what I'm saying. We gave him the best game. We gave him all the chess pieces on the board against the 49ers. He crapped the bed, man. He just don't have it, bro.
Are you talking about in 2022?
Well, whatever year we had Cooper and he crapped the bed, he threw a slant. He keep throwing this same to like the Turpin. He threw that same pass to Turpin to number 1. I can't even remember his name. He don't play on our team, but he threw this.
So Marco, your issue is not Sunday. You've just been holding this in, waiting for the other shoe to drop from 2022 in 2021.
No, Scott, this has been Hey, Scott, if my mom is up here, she's a diehard Cowboy fan. My mom can see this. Come on, y'all Cowboy
No, what
fans,
I'm saying is, you're calling in here and your energy, your frustration is brewing from 2021 to 2022. You just wait for that shoe to drop. And the shoes dropped, so we're talking about 2021, 2022. I don't really understand why we're going back there when right now, 47-9. We could put the pressure on Dak if he want this year to go out there and do it essentially by himself. But I don't think he could do that. I think we're going to need to build a better team, a la the Lions. If we get a team built like that, I 100% think Dak can go deep. But not the way it's been built over the years, from the general manager to the coaching to scheme to defense to all of that. He can't, man. This dude ain't Jesus. He ain't Michael Jordan in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? He's a really good quarterback that absolutely needs other pieces around him, whether it be coaching or whether it be defense or scheme, to play up to their level too. Like, that's just, I've never wavered from that.
Hey, Scott, so I know you don't, but I'm saying, so you do agree with me. We shouldn't have paid him the money because we can't.
I know. I don't agree with you. Don't put words in my mouth. I don't agree with you in that. You literally just came on the show and said, I want to keep Mike McCarthy and Jerry Jones and get rid of Dak. I don't agree with that shit. I don't agree with that at all. I wanted, yes, you keep your all-pro second-team MVP quarterback, but you give him better, period. Do you think that the Lions said, you know what? We just went to the NFC Championship game. Our guy, Jared Goff, was amazing last year. We're just going to do nothing. In fact, we're not going to just do nothing. We're going to make the team worse. And go out there, Jared Goff. Did you hear the Lions coming out there saying, we just paid a quarterback, so he has to do more with less? What kind of...
Scott,
Marco, what kind of thought process is that?
Hey, Scott, now you can agree with me. The Lions they traded their all-star Super Bowl winning quarterback to get Jared Goff to get a little bit worse to get better. I mean, I just think change has got to come, man. We pay this.
I don't disagree that change has got to come. We disagree where the change comes from. My change would be for the Cowboys to operate like a real NFL franchise, hire a general manager that can get fired if they don't do their job. That's the change I'm looking for, because if they don't do that, I don't care if the quarterback's Dak Prescott, Hack Prescott, Whack Prescott. I don't give a damn who it is. The same thing's going to continue to happen because you have the leadership, the culture you are setting is not starting with the quarterback. It's not. It starts above the quarterback. So that's my point. I'm with you. I want change. If the change happens to come at the quarterback position because of what you did above it, then fine. I can give a damn who gets us the 6th ring, brother. But my issue is you want to keep the dude directly responsible for 30 years of the Cowboys not having success in the postseason, in my opinion, and over a franchise quarterback. I'll be damned.
Hey, Scott, he can. If you willing to tell me Dak Prescott can go, take Jerry Jones' ass with you then, and Mike McCarthy,
and Steven Jones.
Over.
Cool.
All of them. Hey, Jones, everybody Jones.
If that's gonna knock some sense into you, cool. As long as you understand that the change that needs to come is the organizational issue, like that. As long as you understand that, doesn't sound like you do. It sounds like you're just like, hey, we go out and we put in Trey Lance, we gonna be cool. That would sound like. No,
Scott, I'm saying this, Scott. I can't get in NFL. We can't give you every first round pick, and you got to play. We gave this guy the best team we had in whatever year we played the 49ers. And he couldn't get the job done. Then we turn around and con Jerry into
he couldn't get the job
done. He can't.
He couldn't get the job. Yeah, him by himself couldn't get the job done. Yeah. Whenever you fans tend to realize that this here game is a team game, I feel like you guys will see the light and feel a lot better about the situation. The problem is y'all don't see the light. Y'all don't have the mental capacity or bandwidth to really understand that this is so much deeper than one specific player. But, and I said this to Honey, y'all need a heel. You need a heel. You need a hero. So I'm gonna dial all my anger into a specific player and blame it because it's easier and it's more digestible for you to do that. Brother, man, the fact that you can't see that light to me is the reason why I'm not even getting upset. Because if that's how if that's what you believe, no, because normally I would just ether you with much more than I've done. But you clearly are just completely missing the common sense that is happening here because your anger is directed towards Ford, and it has been that way for years. And hey, that is what
Scott,
it is.
What does Mike McCarthy weight got to do with any? Who cares if Mike McCarthy fat?
Why you asking me that? I ain't bring up his weight. Don't ask me that.
Not you, Scott. The guys that said it. I'm
you
saying
ask me. I don't care about that.
No, not you, Scott.
Don't waste your time on the phone worried about what somebody else said about weight. In closing.
Okay, I would. Yeah, hey Scott, I always appreciate it. We could argue. I'm not even argue. We could debate all day, man. I appreciate you, Scott. Be blessed, brother. Thank you for letting me call in, Scott.
Always, man. I knew where this was going. That's why I did it. I really wanted to see where he would go, or how it would go. I knew where it was going. I wanted to see how it would go, because he's that type of fan. Wait for the other shoe to drop, and I give those fans space. Like, that's one thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give them space. It's a little bit foul weather, but that's kind of what the real issue with this organization has driven us into. We have completely and utterly, I don't want to say abandoned, but disregard our best players, right? You hear it all the time. Dak Prescott sucks, trade him. Michael Parsons sucks, trade him. Just trade and get rid of everybody, cut everybody. It sounds like they would much rather be a 4-13 team for consecutive years, or just live in this 8-9, 9-8 situation than try to add on top of what is franchise type players. Maybe misery loves company. I don't know. But the energy was different. He called in last week praising him because of how he finished the game. But deep down inside, these type of fans are waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I always find it interesting, because when it does, it's like, this is how you really feel, right? Don't switch up. Just stay there. And when the shoe drop, don't call in when the shoe drop. Don't call in when you're doing good. Just stay there. And once he's gone, cool. Or if it happens, join the train with us, right? But this whole, every time the Cowboys lose, it always got to be one player, specifically Dak Prescott. So we call in and he sucks, get rid of him. I'd rather keep Jerry Jones and Mike McCarthy. You're doing too much, bro. We want to have an actual conversation and talk about the game or about X's and O's or what happens. That's fine with me. Keeping Mike McCarthy and Jerry over Dak, and you think that's the solution? Brother. This team has driven us to lose all common sense around this game of football. Los, what's good?
Buenos mañanas, Sky. How you doing, man?
Boy, you sound like the lunatic.
Oh man, it's been one of those mornings, man. It's crazy, but I just want to say I was already expecting a coaching, dismantle since the preseason, and it all starts with the head coach, right? Coaching matters, and Mike is neither a coach nor a motivator, nor a schemer, none of those things, right, Sky? Yeah. So we shouldn't be surprised how this season is going. My thing is, I just can't believe how we've run this organization, right? You see other organizations within other cities, start from the bottom up, be successful. And I think that's the thing with Jerry. He does not want to start from bottom up. He can't stand accountability thrown his way.
And Los, let me say this, because you're right. I don't believe he does. But here's what pisses me off. If you don't want to start from the bottom up, then damn it, put the chips in the middle of the table and let's boogie. Like, you can't play in the middle all. You can't. All right, I don't want to take 2 steps back to be able to take 5 steps forward. Well, then damn it, take 10. Jump. Jump in. You know what I mean? You can't live in this conservative approach. You can't do it. And that's one thing I do agree with Marco, is I do want change. We just want different changes. Because here's my thing, and I don't mean to go back. If we change what most Cowboy fans understand needs to change, then what happens beneath that, we all will be comfortable with whatever happens, right? If it's a new quarterback, new receiver, new running back, new coach, whatever. Because there's pressure now on that general manager to make something happen and make something shake. Ain't no pressure on these dudes right now. I don't care.
No, and you're exactly right, Sky, especially when they're worth the number B, billions. I mean, I saw Twitter the other day, and they were flaming them up. If you look at their Cowboys page, because they put the number of fans that attended, 92-something thousand, but they blurred out the scoreboard. That's all they cared. They didn't even want to care to show the fans the real truth.
Yeah, I saw that.
So it's we can try to fake for reality, but let's be honest. This team stinks right now. Especially we're complete ass cheeks, man. I don't know how to call it. We can't scheme players open. We can't run the ball. We're trying to ask Dak, a good quarterback, to be superhero, which we can't rely on that every single game.
Like, that's how I know, bro, that like guys like that really they don't care about nothing else. You have bro. Do you know how bad your run game is, Los? It's atrocious. Bro. Like we're trending towards all time bad. When the Cowboys in 2015 were 6-10 or whatever it was, they were terrible. They still were like a top 10 rushing team. The Cowboys are trending to be one of the worst rushing teams in franchise history. Your offensive line is garbage, just flat out. I mean, consistently, maybe not garbage, but overall, it's not good. Maybe garbage is a bit harsh. It ain't good, right? Your scheme is awful. We can sit here and keep trying to downplay it like my man's trying to do, but you constantly hear smart football people and people who have played this game say offenses are more creative nowadays than ever, and you need to catch up. We have not caught up. And you got one legitimate wide receiver on the outside that threatens a game plan of a defense. One. But you know what, I need you to play like Superman and not Blank Man. And when he does play like Blank Man, all the blame's going to be put on him, and we're going to ignore the rest. No. Add him into the blame of other things. It's a gumbo of blame. You play like shit, Dak. So did XYZ and ABC. It's not hard to do that. It's not hard, but people make it hard to do.
No, and that's the thing. I mean, I have an Eagles fan at work, so trust me, I hear from everybody, and he's like, man, when y'all gonna get, man, Dak has not been the issue, man. It's a whole lot of things that's been the issue. And I'll leave it at this, man. A lot of people that said wanted Mike Zimmer to be head coach or be the head coach of this team. Look at where his defense is ranked. I think it's bottom. I think it's 32nd, I believe.
I don't think it's 32nd, but it's bad though.
Yeah, I mean, you go ahead. I mean, I don't know my numbers right now. I didn't look at it this morning.
It's damn near.
But,
it's 30th in the league in points, 24th in yards, 31st in rush 10 rush touchdowns in the first 6 games. It's crazy. It's bad, brother. It's just a bad defense.
Yeah, and I really don't want to be controversial, but those people expecting Al Harris to be an interim head coach, if anything happens to Mike, I do not expect him to get an opportunity for foreseen reasons of this organization, which I am not going to put that in public. But I just believe that any head coach that can challenge Jerry has to be of his certain criteria, and that is that. I mean, we can only hope to overcome the situations.
Well, and you know, I am going to put it out here. I wasn't going to do it because I was going to wait till they make a change if they do. If there is a change, if there's an interim head coach, it's not about overpowering Jerry in that sense, right? Because that mostly has to happen in the offseason, you know? And by the time you make that change, probably trade deadline pass and all that stuff. I'm interested in a change because it's basically an audition. It's an audition for whoever the interim coach is, whoever the interim DC is, or interim OC, whoever the interim is, it's an audition. And I've seen this in 2010, when they did do this, there were drastic changes on the defense side of the ball. They were more conservative. They played more passive, more zone defense, and they got more turnovers. Offensively, Jason Garrett dialed it up. He clearly was holding back, and they got a little bit better there. I do wonder if you make that type of change, say it is Al Harris, which I don't know about that because you still need somebody that knows day-to-day operations. Will that infuse a little bit more oomph into the team, given that it's a coach that these guys can get behind? I personally don't think they're getting behind Mike McCarthy, knowing he's a lame duck and he's not like one of them type. Al kind of is. He has that energy. Nobody is going to like to hear this, but Shoddy has that type of energy, and he's been around and knows the day-to-day operations. Now, I'm not saying Shoddy runs the offense. I would give a shot. Let's just say they do make Shoddy the intern. I would say, what's the Scott Tolzien. I would give that young man a shot, right? Audition. Hey, Al, you the DC now. Audition. I'll be more excited about that than the way we are currently going here this season. And that's no joke, brother. I would be more excited to see what these young men can do in those positions than just rolling with what Mike is doing, Mike Solari, Mike Zimmer, and Mike McCarthy. That shit ain't working.
Nah, hey, but I don't think they're ever going to get an opportunity. You know who will?
Who?
You'll probably hear one of those. I probably don't even think they're going to even get an opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they might audition, yeah, but you know who might will? Another fat fuck by the name of Rex Ryan, who always been complaining about the Cowboys to give him some fucking money to get another paycheck.
Well, Rex,
you know, so
you mean in the offseason, like next year, you think they're going to hire Rex?
Hey, I don't know if you know this guy. He's been public about the Cowboys that, hey, they should hire me.
Exactly.
Blah, blah, blah.
That's the exact reason why they ain't going to do it. You hear him talking shit? Bro, he pissed. He talking mad shit on Jerry Jones for not hiring him. They not hiring no damn Rex Ryan.
Hey, you never know, man. But as long as if it's, like I said, Jerry Jones' criteria of a head coach. But, I mean, we just, like you said, Scott, we just got to overcome everything. It is what it is. I'm DC for life. You know what it is, Scott. And, hey, the Maverick season is about to start in here 2 weeks.
No Mavericks right now, I'm pissed.
Hey,
I appreciate you.
Hey, bro, you got to get excited for that because you got to go to the game,
I'm not a Mavs fan, but all right, bro, appreciate you.
Hey,
Los gonna find a way to sneak in them damn Rangers and the Mavs. Our guy Los. Yeah, look, they go out here and get whooped by the Niners. You got to make a move, and the only reason why I didn't go in detail earlier because they haven't made a deal, a change. But they get whooped by these Niners. On the road, it's going to be Wade Phillips all over again. And I've been having these conversations behind the scene of how could this thing look. Here's the thing, though. Professor O said something on Twitter that I would 100% agree with. Get rid of all these damn mics. All of them. Get rid of them all. What do you got? Now, I know that's drastic as hell. That is drastic. Al Harris been here, though. He know these players better than this Mike. Paul Gunther's here. Now, Gunther might be a little upset. He may not like that. He can run the defense if you want. Solari, I don't care who. Tell Lunda Wells to run the offensive line. He was an O-line coach before. And then, of course, Mike McCarthy. That's where you have to decide who's going to run day-to-day operations. I would not advocate for Schottenheimer to be the head coach and the play caller. I wouldn't want him to do that. And that's not me. Look, I'm not saying your offense is going to be better with with Schottenheimer, but you need somebody to just oversee the day-to-day football operations. And there's really only like 2 guys on staff that I think have done that before. I think Gunther was a head coach, but I don't know if they'll do that. He hasn't been here long enough. Shotty's been here for a few years. Al could be that, but then you take Al away from the defense, but maybe they say it's not Al's defense anyway, so you make him the head coach. But you need somebody to run day-to-day. I'm intrigued, and I'm talking about, by the way, y'all, not for 2025, just if they make a move this in week 7. I'm intrigued with Scott Tolzien. I'm intrigued. He's young. He has a fresher mind on the game. He's a former quarterback. I talked to somebody about this where, if you listen to Schottenheimer speak in the offseason, he was very excited about motion and what it means and what it can do and why we decide we want to do it. But then the season happens. They're not doing it. I don't think this is Schottenheimer's offense. I truly don't. That's my gut. I haven't talked to nobody. I just don't believe Schottenheimer really has much of a say here. This is Mike McCarthy's offense. Schotty just here. Schotty was here to be a specialist the first year, and they got rid of Kellen and needed an offensive coordinator in name. Schotty was an offensive coordinator. I don't think this is offense. I think if it was truly his offense, it wouldn't be ran in this way. So I would like to see Scott Tolzien because I feel like maybe Scott will now open up things a bit more from a creative standpoint, being a younger, fresher mind. And again, not saying none of this shit will make things amazing or great. I would just be more intrigued moving forward for the rest of this year, which doesn't look like it's going to be a great year yet. Things can change. I would be more intrigued with that than rolling out 60-something-old Mike McCarthy that seems to me had lost his team. 60-something-year-old Mike Zimmer that, God bless his soul. He was out there with backups, but it wasn't like things were different when he had his guy. And then 70, 80-something-year-old Mike Solari, who, good Lord, I mean, talk about regression. Just throwing stuff out there. Hallelujah said, Yeah, I'm just thinking, man. There's so many different ways this can go. Because I'm telling you, if they lose to the Niners, something, he's probably getting fired. Audition. See what Scott Tolzien got, man. See what Al got. As a DC, I like to see Al as a DC. I want to be the head coach yet. Let Al run this thing. We don't know if Scott Tolzien's a young Mike McCarthy. Just because he was under Mike McCarthy doesn't mean he's going to be Mike McCarthy. We don't know. It's a different era, man. It's a different era. The one thing about Kellen, I'll say this. People try to call him a young Scott Linehan because he played under Scott. Kellen brought way more creative things than Scott Linehan did. He just didn't have no damn rhyme or reason to it. He didn't have no rhyme or reason. It had terrible game management, right? So he was not he was not the sins of his father, right? He wasn't Scott Linehan in that sense, who the game passed him. He just happened to be under him. Scott Tolzien's young. He ain't like he sees this game. I'd like to see if he would implement some of those things. And it's not like it's not in the Cowboys playbook. McCarthy just refuses to run those things because he's not an advocate for it. You see how upset he gets when they talk about motion, at snap stuff, and you see how they run these things. It's not creative. I'd have a hard time believing a young, fresh-faced guy like Scott Tolzien will run a 60-something-year-old style of offense. Just have a hard time believing that. I'd like to see it. That's what I'm saying. I'd like to see it. Now, Shoddy, don't know if I don't know, but I'm more and more unsure on Shoddy because if you go look at Seattle, I almost said Marty. Brian Schottenheimer did not have bad offenses in Seattle, right? In fact, Russ had some of his most efficient years under Brian Schottenheimer. But Schottenheimer didn't have a lot of power in how he wanted to totally run that offense. One of the main reasons why they split, Pete Carroll and him was getting tussles about how often they wanted to run the ball. Run the ball. Pete wanted to run the ball. That's what you want to do. Shoddy will run the ball. He did shoddy ball, but he was like, look, the game is shifting. We need to be more aggressive through the air. We need to have different we need to do different things, and that didn't work out. So I'm a little bit more, I don't know. Shoddy could go back to Marty ball and looks awful. Or maybe he brings something where it looks more efficient. But I don't want my head coach to be the play caller. So that's what I'm saying. If it is Shoddy, just let him run day to day because he's been in the league for 30 years. He knows how to get these things going. He has a much more vibrant energy. I would actually want him to be the guy just because he has that energy that he can kind of exude through the team. I don't want him calling the plays, though. Let the young man call the plays. See what he can do. He ain't fired yet, so we ain't going to talk about Bill. But we'll get there if that happens, which, as it stands right now, does anybody believe the Cowboys are going to San Francisco and winning? I don't believe that. Now, how they play, I think, will dictate McCarthy's job status. If they go up there and get their ass kicked again, and Jerry does not make a move, Jerry, how can anybody in that locker room take anything serious anymore? They may not be taking it serious as is, but there's no way if I'm really trying to continue to compete in this season and these things keep on happening and we keep coming out here, all details and practice better, and that stuff, that's leadership stuff. Appreciate y'all. This is Therapy Tuesday, man. No Tape Tuesday. Y'all dropped some coins for the therapy, so let's get to the super chats.
Super chat.
Iceberg Q earlier dropped 2 and said, get ready for Kellen Moore as your next head coach. Whenever McCarthy's going after the season, whenever that happens, we are going to have a conversation of, well, will Jerry go back into the, hey, I needed to be a guy who done it before, or I'm going to give the new whiz kid type first crack at it. Still, the boys dropped 2 and said, OC got to go. The OC is Mike, basically. Scruggs,
super chat.
Heard from him in a minute, dropped 5. Sky had a conversation with a former Cowboys receiver and Bryce Butler. It's politics. Jerry in the front office determines who gets the ball, not the coaches. Yeah, Scruggs, I think you've been around here for a while. I've shared the story many times. I've actually talked to a former coach that basically told me he did. I don't know if he does anymore, but he did go into meetings and say, well, why isn't so-and-so getting the ball? And I think that super chat derives from this question: was a call made in house? It is really hard to say it was not made in house when the squeaky wheels start squeaking, right? The week before, the better running back on the team had one of his breakout games of the season, and the next week he gets the ball 5 times. And this is what your head coach said.
Clearly not a reflection of him. I actually thought he did play well with his limited touches, but he definitely needs to touch the ball more.
Read between the lines. Clearly, it's not a reflection of him. Definitely needs to touch the ball. He's sending a message to somebody that ate him. Because I'm like, you the one that called the plays, Mike. Towboat tie.
Super chat.
Drop 5 and said, this is embarrassing, Sky. Yeah, it is. I don't mind losing as long as we in fight. I hate losing, but yeah, I don't like losing like this. How can we improve coming off the bye? Is there upside or all hope is lost? There's upside. You get players back. You'll improve because you get players back. Offensively, I'm not going to sit here and sell you. Unless they do what they did last year, they go into the bye. I understand we have to really modernize this thing. We have to do things differently. Maybe they come out the bye and they look like they did last year. That'd be great. But from what I've seen the first 6 weeks, if this is what the offense is going to be, I just don't get how you can have any confidence that this offense is just going to ride you into the playoffs. At least last year, you saw games from TP and Rico, or at least TP. He had a couple 100-yard games, I think it was, in total. It didn't start to tail off, but you saw a few games. Arizona, New York, the run game was getting going. The run game ain't doing nothing. You don't care about the run game. Your backfield's worse. Let's keep it a bean. It's worse than it was last year. Your run block is worse. It was terrible. It wasn't that great. So, this ain't the day for hopium and put my homer hat on. Can't put my homer hat on, man. I got to be real with you. If this is how it's going to look offensively moving forward, 4-88, we need you to be Superman and not blank, man. Can't be blank, man. Not even for a possession, not for a throw, not for a game, not for a series, not for whatever. You can't be this. You don't have a good enough team to be this, and every other game you'll be all right. Like, think about this. You ain't even blowing out bad teams no more. And you ain't hanging around with decent ones. Tyrone, drop 5.
Super chat.
He said, do you think DFW need to call Jerry out more for real change? It feels like they criticize him but sugarcoat it. Does Jerry control the media? I think he definitely has a say in who covers the team. You heard what, see if I can get the audio. You heard what he said. I'll get you fired. I'll get somebody else to ask the questions. Now, I don't know if they're going to fire Sean, whatever it is. But maybe he'll go to the ticket or something like that, right? But, yeah, I think there's some part of a mob mentality with the media. Go look around the league, man. There's all types of people that cover those teams. That's not the case here in Dallas. It's a select few that cover this team are allowed in that room. That's for a reason. Do I think he need to call him out for change? It ain't gonna matter. They've been calling him out for 30 years. 30 years. Maybe not as hard as we do, but that is not gonna matter. because the one change that needs to happen involves removing himself. He won't do it. And like I said, I joke a little bit half-heartedly, but I have this weird, strange feeling that this just going to push this man into being more of Jerry Jones than less of him. Listen to him. I'm the only one that can do this. Nobody can do this. What do you say? This motherfucking job better than me. I'll get you fired. How dare you come on here and ask me these questions? You bring your genius ass down here to the meetings. Oh, he's getting mad to the point that, all right, I'm going to hire Barry Switzer and we're going to prove this thing. We're going to do it my way. He's already doing that, but I feel like maybe he's getting pushed into that. The conversation publicly, I don't think is going to change and make Jerry Jones give up and his son. Somebody behind the scenes is going to have to tell him and his son to kick rocks. Maybe internally there needs to be a picket sign, the signs and a revolt. I know everybody says, hey, stop going to games, stop buying merch, stop doing this, stop doing that, and that'll get their attention. But bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, I hate to tell you, the money that is being made at that stadium, the money is being made with these jersey sales. It's a drop in the bucket compared to the money that he's making off the star. Endorsements, commercials, TV deals. Drop in the bucket, ladies and gentlemen. That's just reality. And that's no knock to my man that's doing fire Jerry Jones or don't show up to the that's no knock to y'all that believe that. Like, that's cool. Don't watch the game. Don't show up. Don't buy the merch. That, to me, personally, that's not changing a damn thing. For that man, Jerry Jones. He set this thing up. You know we talk about the offense and the team being a well-oiled machine. The well-oiled machine is the marketing and business aspect of the Cowboys. He could do nothing. Jerry could just kick back and he will make money hand over fist. Cowboys suck? Guess what? They're on ESPN. They're leading block. Still getting commercials. He's still on commercials. TV deals. Fans are tuning in to watch them suck. They love this. Cowboys are good. Oh, 6-7 night games. More TV deal. It's a well-oiled machine, man. It's a well-oiled machine. It's going to take somebody to somehow, some way snatch power away from the Joneses. And I say Joneses because it ain't just Jerry. G-Dub dropped 10. The first time you lay down, it makes the next time easier. I saw a team comfortable with laying down. Hold up. G-Dub. Hold up. The first time you lay down, it makes the next time easier. I saw a team comfortable with laying down. God damn. If you go into Baltimore and run trick plays to embarrass them, there will be a brawl. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, brother, I ain't even bring that up. The Lions came into this thing trying to embarrass you. I ran out of time. Y'all, I completely forgot I got a meeting. Shouts out to Tobo Ty. He dropped 10 and said $400 on the ticket, $80 to park, 10 for money. Jake the Great dropped 2 and said, look what Jerry has done. Facts. We them boys dropped 2 and said, Zeke's crying. Worked. That's a problem. Politics. One more refresh. I completely forgot about this meeting. My bad. Mike dropped 2 and said, if they don't win, Mike's ass is out. Matt dropped 5 and said, another good show, Scott. Appreciate you, Matt. Changes need to be made across the board. Trying to come through for the Falcons game. Let me know. And Sully dropped 5. If Mike modernizes during the bye, that just goes to show he shouldn't be the coach because it's no way he should not have started with that. Facts. I agree with you, Sully. My bad for the hard out, Cowboys Nation, but I got to go. Appreciate y'all for coming through on this Therapy Tuesday. We'll be back tomorrow. Unfortunately, we got to sit on this a little bit longer, so we're not prepping for a team. Relax. We're going to look at some bye week stuff. All right, we out here.